Hi everyone, I'm Sarah Gillis and I'm here on behalf of Team Bravo to discuss communicating with customers and clients. To start off, we'll take a look at this general list of some do's and don'ts that should be followed when communicating with customers or even potential clients. You should always genuinely interact with customers. Most customers that are constantly approached by salespeople are going to be able to smell out the fakers pretty quickly. If you can establish a genuine relationship with them right off the bat, that'll have a really positive effect on your relationship in the long run. Focus on their needs. And to go along with that, always listen and get their feedback. You have clients that are willing to give you a try for the first time, and maybe something doesn't go as expected and they're not as satisfied as you would have hoped, but if you can get to them and get their feedback and have the opportunity to make amends so that they are satisfied, that'll show them that as a company, you value them and their opinion. It's not just from, the bad feedback that you want. You should also get some feedback from clients that are happy so you can see what makes them happy and try to establish that with new clients going forward. Continue to be exceptional. I think we see this with a lot of companies that they find a client that might be, a potential long-term client, and they go above and beyond and do whatever they can to differentiate themselves from others in the industry, and then you get that client and now they're a constant client and that's where it ends. And I think in order to continue to be successful, it's important that you continue to be exceptional and show them that they do matter to you and you value them as a customer. Ask the right questions. This kind of also goes along with focusing on their needs and listening to them. Find out what exactly it is they want and do what you need to do to tailor that request to your product or your service so that they're happy. Be honest when it comes to mistakes. Of course, it's easy to just brush it under the rug or, tell a little white lie where you don't think they'll be as mad, but in the long run, it's important to just be honest. Everyone makes mistakes, and I think your client would value that and think, that was a good characteristic of someone they would want to do business with, to know that they're not going to be lied to, and when mistakes do happen, that you are going to be honest with them about it. The customer is always right. I think some companies, especially depending on people's personality types, have an issue with this, but it's important to always keep it in the back of your mind that they are always right, as they're the one giving you their business. Talk their language. Don't throw terms and language at them that they're not going to understand just because you're the expert on the matter. I found if I'm looking to purchase something that maybe I'm not an expert on and don't know everything about, if that person, can get on my level and kind of give me some simple lingo on what it is, I definitely am more keen on doing business with that person because I don't feel like they're not genuinely interacting with me. Follow through on your promises. It's never fun when you're promised a discount or promised, something added into the purchase or a gift, and then it never happens. It's better to just not promise something than to actually, make this great promise to a client or a potential client and then it never happened. Show gratitude. I've had places I've made a purchase and 2 weeks later I get a thank you card in the mail. And I think that shows, a great appreciation of my business with them. I think it also defines you from competitors. Don't be exceedingly promotional or aggressive. There's nothing worse than a salesperson that is being very pushy about making a sale. Now, we have to look at it from their perspective too. It's their job to make numbers, but acquiring a long-term client, you don't want to push them or be so promotional that you end up pushing them away. Don't over-rely on email communication. Sometimes it's just nice and more efficient to just pick up the phone and give that person a call and discuss it with them over the phone instead of just relying on email, which maybe sometimes can be kind of impersonal. Obviously, in today's world, one of the best ways to communicate with clients and major benefit of communicating with potential clients is social media. It's an instant, direct conversation, and not just with one person. It gives you the opportunity to have a widespread effect on a lot of followers. It's also a great tool for customer feedback, but it opens the door for not only good, but for also bad feedback. But with that being said, you can take the bad feedback and use it to your advantage. I've seen companies that I follow where so-and-so will go on and say, this happened, I wasn't happy with this, and that company immediately writes back and says, let us fix this for you, or we're sorry, how can we fix this? And it just shows, that customer that they value them and they're thankful for their feedback and they want to fix it so that they're happy with their purchase. It's easy to launch and most of the time it's free, and it's a great way to establish brand loyalty. So this is an example of some sincere communication by Jimmy John's. We have Judy here, who was not pleased with her purchase. It was wrong, it looks like twice. Within 3 hours, Jimmy John's responded and said they were all over it. They wanted her address and phone number so that they could gain their trust again. I think that was a great way to show Judy that they valued her as a customer and they wanted to continue to have her business. Same thing with American Express down here below. This person's complaining about their service and the fact that he's disconnected. So within 5 minutes, American Express posted, "We're sorry to hear this," and that they were going to do something to fix it. Now, can you imagine how those customers would have felt if they would have posted on these companies' Facebooks or Twitters and never heard anything? They would have been even more disappointed within just the fact that they, weren't happy with the company, but now they were being ignored. So like I said, you can take the bad feedback and use it to your advantage, but if you don't use it to your advantage, it can definitely do some damage. So this is an example of exceptional service, and obviously these companies have been, around for quite some time, and it's nice to see that they're still finding ways to show their customers, that they're still focused on their service. So with Orbitz, they're giving away free airline ticket today. So you follow them and then you retweet the message, and essentially at the end they choose a winner. 1-800-PET-MEDS, they have giveaways on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and it kind of shows you what you should do. Needs and feedback. So with US Airways, on their Twitter page, right underneath all their information, it says, have a complaint, compliment to share. Go to their feedback page so they can follow up with you directly, since they aren't able to provide a proper response on Twitter. I think this is a great way to show your customer that they want to know about your complaints and your compliments directly. Like on Twitter, it's, there's obviously a lot of followers and a lot of responses, but if you can go on this page, it's a great way to direct message with you to find out what it is you're happy and what it is you're not happy with. So if you look down here below, this person was writing this on Pottery Barn's wall, that they had the worst customer service and just complaining about their website. So within 7 hours, Pottery Barn wrote back that they were sorry to hear about the experience and they want to turn it around. So they wanted him to directly email their support email with your order details, and they'll be in touch. Now, this is kind of like things that were previously discussed on the beginning slide. They owned up to their mistake and they found a way to fix it. Now, if they had never responded to this person, they might have lost a client forever. But now that they've responded, this person might give them a chance to redeem themselves and potentially use them again in the future. Obviously, social media expansion is going to continue in today's market and in future markets. A survey said that 93% of customers expect companies to have a presence on social media. I know a lot of times when I'm searching for something or I want a review on something, I do go to their Facebook page and look. And if I'm trying to decide between 3 companies, I will look at all their 3 Facebook pages. And in the back of my head, if one of those companies didn't have a Facebook page, I probably would wonder why, since it's so important in today's market to have some sort of establishment on a social media website. So this is kind of a projected graph of current social media that's being used in advertising and some projected numbers for 2015 and 2016. As you can see, it's going to constantly be growing. So if you're starting a company or you're currently at a company, I think it's important to establish yourself on at least Facebook and Twitter, and then keep up with that account. It's not just about establishing yourself, but you have to use it efficiently and reach out with your customers. This is just the references I used for this PowerPoint, and that pretty much wraps it up, and I appreciate everyone listening.